Hey guys, so I'm going to be showing you how to make this chicken, which a lot of people have actually been requesting, which I didn't think so, because it's kind of a bit of a blob, like he doesn't have too much shape. So this was the design I posted and that people were asking me a tutorial for. I have remade it, and I think people are thinking it looks different. Well, I added legs, but you could always just not do those if you don't want them, and I ran out of these beads, so these beads are a little smaller, so if he looks different, that's why. But it's the exact same design. So this is actually the one where I did the design correctly. And yeah, so this design isn't really that hard. It's just that there is a lot of attaching at the end because we have to attach like this, that thing, and then like, so it's a lot of attaching. Also, I apologize for my nails. They're kind of gross, but I just realized I forgot to remove my nail polish. That's kind of all chipped. But oh well. So yeah, I think that's it. So for this, you're gonna need, well, you don't really need beads, but I like the beads, so I already have some bands with beads on them. But if you didn't want to do beads, you could just cap a band 4 times and put it on a band, and it'd be the same thing. You also need a hook. You don't need a double-ended hook. I just like using this hook, so I'll be using this. And then, oh, yeah, the colors, so I'll use him as an example. So for the red today, oh, also I'm completely out of white. That's why all these chickens are getting like different colors, because I don't have any white, so yeah. But for the red today, I'll be using yellow, and then for his beak, it'll be orange again, and then for the yellow here, it is going to be red, like I guess an actual chicken would be. And the last thing you're going to need is a C-clip or something to mark your rows. And oh gosh, I dropped, oh no. Okay, 1 minute. I dropped it in my desk, but I found a new C-clip. Okay. So I guess we'll get started. So to start, you're going to start with your yellow, well, whatever the body color is for you. So whatever the color you mainly want your chicken to be. And yeah. So to start, you're just going to cap a band on your hook like that. And then we're going to be putting 6 loops in this band. I'm going to try to go slower this time because a lot of my comments have been go slower, but I don't know if I go too fast or if it was just a web tutorial. I happen to be going really fast, so I don't know. But yeah, so we're going to be putting 6 loops, so you're just going to pull a band through, both ends back on, and then you pull the back one over the front one. And we're going to do that 6 times. Well, it's a little different the second time, but so. And then you pull this one out. I always have such a bad habit of taking my hook out. Oh, it's not focused also. There we go. Like that. I'm so bad explaining, so kind of just watch. So now we have 2, so you're gonna do that 4 more times. Oh my gosh, I forgot to say, you need something to stuff your chicken with too. I don't actually forgot to get something to stuff him. Okay, 1 more. So once you have 6 loops, you should be able to count them. So you can actually count them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6. So it should look like this. And now, instead of going back into the cap band, we're going to go into this first loop. You just pull band through just like before. You do the exact same thing. And then we'll be putting our C-clip on this one. I'm just getting more bands, so. Okay. So now in this row we'll be increasing everything, so by that I mean, I guess, I don't know, I never really watched Loomigurumi tutorials, but I think that but basically what an increase is you're putting 2 of these instead of 1, so you're gonna go back into the first one. And that would be an increase. So let me show you on the next one. So we go into the next loop. And so I did 1, and then you're going to go back in, and you're going to do another. And that's an increase too. Oh my god. I keep pulling my hook out today. Like that. You're just going to do this until you get back to the C-clip. So same thing. You're just putting 2 in each of the loops, and there's 6 loops. Did I put 2? Yeah, I did. And then once you get back to the C-clip, you're just going to go through that loop, do a stitch like normal, and then you just move the C-clip up. And after this row, you should have 12, so you can go back and count. So you count the one on your hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like that. Also, I forgot to say at the start, but if you get confused by how I talk, but you can kind of read my pattern, I will have the pattern for this in the description. So now we'll be increasing every third loop, and by that, I'll show you what I mean. I'm just picking up bands again. These are like really tight. So increasing every third. So this is 1, and then this would be 2, and you're just doing 1. So these are, I guess okay. I know from like other Loomigurumi tutorials that these are called single crochets, I believe. I think. But it's just 1. So instead of doing 2, you're just doing 1. Like that. And then since this is so in the third, you increase. I'm confusing myself now. But so it's 1 and then 2, and then this third one, you do an increase, so you put 2. And then you go to the next one, and you do 1. So basically it's 2 single, and then 1, and then an increase. So you do 1, 2, and then we increase. I'm hoping this makes sense. So let's see. 1, 2, and then increase. And then again, you do 1, 2, and then the third one you increase. I'm trying to explain better because I know a lot of my comments are people not understanding. So I'm trying. But I don't know if I'm making it more confusing. So sorry. And then, once again, we just move the C-clip up. And after this row, you should have 16. So if we go back and count 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So you should have 16. And now this is where it gets a little weird because basically we're going to only do 1 increase in the whole row, and I'll show you what, but basically why we do that is so he has a little bit of a, basically so he's not just all like, I guess round. It kind of gives him like a butt, I guess. So yeah, we're going to be doing that. And I'll tell you where to put the increase, because basically I try to put the increase directly across from where the C-clip is. So I'm just going to start by doing 1 in every loop. So just do 1 stitch in every loop. I guess I should tell you how many I got. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Okay, and then once you look like you're directly across on the C-cup, so for me that was 7. So so you're gonna do 7 single, and then on this one you're gonna do an increase. So on the 8th one, and you're gonna put 2 in this one. And then on the rest of the way to the C-clip, it's all just 1 in each. So a single. I used to call these normal because like you wouldn't be increasing. So if you've watched my other tutorials, that is also what I mean by this. So we're just doing one, every loop all the way back to the C-clip. And then once you get back to the C-clip, you just move it up. And we're going to be doing this exact same thing again. And you should have, oh shoot, I think it's 17. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So yeah, you should have 17 loops now. And we're going to do the exact same thing again. So we'll be increasing only one in this row, and it will be directly across from the C-clip. It's taking me so long to pick up these yellow bands because they're like tighter. Okay. So once again, we'll just be doing one in every single one until you look like you're directly across from the C-clip. So let me count again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Okay, so I did 8 single, and then in the 9th one, you're going to put an increase, so you're going to be putting 2. Just like last time. And now you're going to be doing just single all the way back. So just one in every loop all the way back. Oops. And then once you get to the C-clip, you just move it up. Okay, so now is where it gets a little bit repetitive for a few rows. So, oh, I forgot. After this row, you should have 18. So if you go back and count, there should be 18. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18. Why does mine have 19? Okay, I think mine is correct. I just counted wrong because it should be 18. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16, 17. Okay, I know I probably have 18. I just counted wrong. So you should have 18. Because I counted 19 and then 17. I'm really bad at counting on camera. So anyways, this is where it gets repetitive. So we're going to be doing just single, just one band in every loop. So no increasing, just doing one in every loop all the way back to the C-clip. And you're going to do this for 4 rows. So this would be row 1. I'll do this row on camera, but basically you're just putting one in every single loop. Until you get back to the C-clip. And you'll be doing it for, so this is 1 row, so you'll be doing 3 more rows after this one, and then just exactly the same thing, just putting 1 in every one. And at the end of all these, you should still have 18 loops, so you're not increasing anything. Oops. Oops. Then once you get to the C-clip, you just move it up like we've been. So this is one row with just one in every loop, and we should have 18 at the end of this. And you're going to do that 3 more times. And then once you've done all 3 rows, just come back. I'm going to go off camera to do the rest because it's really repetitive. Basically, you're just putting one in every loop like we did. And you're going to do that for 3 more rows and then come back and I'll show you how to close them off. Okay, so after you've done 4 rows, it should look like this. And also, if you ever got lost on what you're doing for the 4 rows, if you go directly in the back, you should be able to see if I go 1, 2, 3, 4. There should be an increase, like about right here. If you find that increase, you should be able to count 4 rows down, and you'll know if you did the 4 rows if you ever got lost. But honestly, I think if you did do like 1 row longer, it probably wouldn't hurt the design too much. It would just be a little taller. So, also, I took my hook out. Don't do that. So now we're going to start decreasing, and I'll show you how to decrease. I really should have picked up more bands before coming back on camera, but I did not. Okay, so let me refocus this. Okay, so we're going to be decreasing every 3rd stitch, so just like last time, this would be 1, then 2, and then on the 3rd one, to do a decrease, what you do is you grab the front one of this first band, just the front loops, and the back one of the next band, and then you pull a band through that, like, just do a stitch. And then you go to the next one, so you do 1 normal, you do the second one normal, then on the 3rd one we decrease, and I'll show you that again. So you grab the front one, the first loop, and the back one of the next loop. Like that. And once again, wait, is that the decreased one? Make sure you're not going into the same loop you decreased. Because like this one actually is part of the decrease, even though it doesn't look like it. So you actually go into this next one. So it's 1, 2, then on the 3rd one we decrease. So front one, then the back one. And you just do this till you get back to the C-clip. And 1, 2. Okay, so technically when you get to the C-clip, you're supposed to do a decrease, so I'm just going to do a decrease. So, grab the front one and the back one. And then you just move the C-clip up onto this decrease. So after this row, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, no. A minute, I'm going to go count real quick. I just couldn't count. So after this row, you should have 12, which is what I had written down. I'm so bad at counting on camera. That's like the 2nd time I've got the count wrong. But so this row will be decreasing every other stitch. So we'll do 1 normal and then a decrease and then 1 normal and then a decrease. So this was a decrease. So the next one is 1 normal. And a decrease. Do a normal. Always make sure you're not going into the band you decrease, because sometimes after you decrease it looks like it'll be the next band, but it's actually not. So just be careful with that. It also gets kind of hard to see here. So this time the decrease is actually right before the C-clip, so you just do one normal where the C-clip is and move it up. And now we're going to stuff it. So I'm just going to take my hook out because the C-clip should hold it. Oh, also after this row you should have 8, so if you count you got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm off camera. So trying to show you how I'm counting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now you're just gonna get your stuffing and you're just gonna stuff them. So this is cotton ball I just basically tore up. Stuff him. I don't want mine to be too full, so I think I'm gonna leave them like that. And now what we're gonna be doing, and actually at this point you can just take the C-clip off, because we're just gonna be creasing every single thing till it's closed. So I'm just picking up bands really quick. Okay, so every single one now is a decrease. Making sure it's focused. And once again, we're just decreasing literally everything until it's closed. So I usually just do it basically until I can't do it anymore. And then once you're on your last decrease and you have like the bands on your hook, usually I'll just pull one band through everything on my hook. And then just slip knot it off. Then we're just gonna tuck the tail in. Oh, just hit my camera. So just go up by the tail, pull it in, and hide the tail. Go. You should kind of be able to tell which is the front and the back, because the back is a little bit fatter. So that's the side I can kind of tell, and this is the front. So now to start attaching everything. So usually I'll attach the eyes first because it's kind of, then I can kind of tell where to put the beak. So I'm just gonna pick a spot, put the eyes in. Just make sure that the where we increased is in the back. Just tying these bands in. Well, the eyes in. I think I may have put them a little bit too high. So there's one. Just gonna put the other one right here. I'm just gonna tie these in. And then once he's got his eyes, you can put the beak in between here. So to do the beak, I'm trying to remember how I did the beak because I don't remember. So we're just gonna start one spot on these in between the eyes. Just gonna put your hook through, pull it back, and you're just gonna do like a stitch, like that. Then you're gonna go to the next one, do the same thing. Oh, I think I went off camera for that one. Onto this next bit. Just gonna tie another one. So you've tied 3 into the I guess his body. I don't know how to explain that. You're just gonna turn your hook around and go back into the second loop. do it into the first one. And then we're just going to tie this into the chicken, so you're going to get your body color. I usually try to go right where it started, and then I just tie this down. And you should have a beak. His beak looks a little weird, but I think it's because I did it on camera. I don't know if it's a little long. No, that's actually right. So like that. And next I'll usually put in the feet. So for the feet, I'll usually just get 3 bands of whatever color I want the feet and wrap them around 3 times. And get a yellow band. Pull it through everything. Like that. And then I'll just go someplace in the front here and attach the feet. There's not really an exact spot. I honestly think on every chicken it does get a little bit different. You just tie them in and then you just tie the tail. This one kind of looks like a duck. I don't know. It's supposed to, but he does look like a duck. And we're just going to do that again for the other foot. So you wrap it around 3 times. Pull the yellow band through. And then tie it in. I'm sorry if I keep going off camera, I'm just having a hard time seeing. So like that. And then next we'll do the wings. So for the wings, it's focused. You get a band that's the color of your chicken and you wrap it around. I'm having problems with words right now. So you just wrap it around once like that, and then you pull a band through both these, and you put both ends back on like that. So you just chained one. And now you're gonna put 3 bands, and this is this first like chain thing we made. So you pull another band through. This time you do it like a normal stitch, and then you go back in, and you're gonna do 2 more. And then in this cap band, we're gonna do 5. So 5. So 1, 2, 3, 5, and then we're going to go back into this first chain and we're just going to put 2. 2. And then I'll go back up to this first one we did, put my hook through that, and then I'll just slip knot. Like that, and that's a wing. So to attach it, I actually have had a hard time with the wings. It took me forever to get his, and if you notice on him, they're a little crooked, so I'm always having problems with trying to get the wings even. Once again, put the wing in. I'll probably pull it this way. So we'll pick a spot. And you just pull this in, and we still have to tie it one more time. No. Shoot. Okay. And then once it's like this, you get one more yellow band. And what you're going to do is you're going to put your hook through the bottom of this one. And then you're going to pick where you want to tie it down. It's too far. I don't know where to tie it down. It's right here. Yeah. And then you're just going to pull a band through that, go back through the top loop, get the other loop, pull it so it's like that, it's through the wing, And then just slip knot it off and tie it in. Now I think his wing's too low. With the wings, though, honestly, you just have to keep trying and keep moving them until a spot you like them. And you just do this to the other side, so... I think I'm going to pause real quick and make the other wing, and then I'll show you how I attached it again, because attaching this dude together is actually really confusing, so... Okay, so I made the other wing, and it should look like this. We're just going to attach this to this other side. I'm going to try to make it about the same height. A trick I have learned is if you try to make it look slightly higher, it'll be more even, if that makes sense, because you kind of pull it down. But I always have such a hard time getting the wings even, so if yours aren't way even, just keep moving them. So once again, you just go through the bottom part of this wing, through part of the chicken, you pull it through, you go back through this top loop, grab that other loop, and then slip knot. And then you just tuck this in. The hardest part about this design is definitely attaching everything, because there's a lot to attach. And his wings are slightly not even, but it's not too bad. I also don't know if I made his beak too long or if it just looks that way, but I think it just looks that way because I did it like all the other chickens. Okay, so last we're just going to put the little thing under his chin and then this thing on top. And these aren't too hard, so just get your red or whatever color you're going to use for that. And I try to go in the middle of his head. And you're just basically making stitches into his head. And then I always have a problem that I kind of run into where the hole is. And you could try to close it up with this, which is sometimes what I do. But sometimes I'll just try to go around it. And neither way you do it looks bad, so don't worry too much. I'm debating, because see, you can leave it at this length and you could tie it here. Or on some of these, I made it a little bit taller, which I kind of like. So to make it a little taller, you just, at this point, you kind of turn around and go back. And you just put some in these. So you put 2 more in the first 2. And another problem I did have is I don't like tying it in the front. So another solution to that is actually you can unloop it and then just loop them backwards and then tie it in the back. And then you can just tie it back here because that looks nicer. And then like that. So to do the one under the chin, I think it only takes 3 bands. So you're just going to go directly under the lip, or the beak, I guess. I'm going to pick a spot. I'm going to pull a band through. This. And then you're going to go, oh snap, my desk. Oh, 1 minute. It's because the desk drawer hold my stand and popped open. It was not good. Okay, but back to this. So you're gonna go back into this, like the tie bit. Those 2 loops. You're just gonna get your hook under those. Like that. You pull a red band through these 2. And then you're just going to tie this in. You're going to switch to yellow to tie it. And then you just tie it. And then tuck it in. Like that. And after that, your chicken is done. So you can, of course, ooh, it's not focused. You can move anything. Like this eye is kind of bugging me, so I might move it, I don't know, maybe closer. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you got confused on any of the parts of me attaching things, just go back and watch them again, because I can't really write those down. But yeah, if you make any of these, though, you can tag me on my Instagram. I would love to see them. And I do plan on making more tutorials, so if you subscribe, you can see when I come out. I did take a little bit of a break for a bit, but it was because of school, and now I'm coming back, so yeah. But I think that's it, so yeah, bye.